this video, I'm going to talk about configuring private VLANs. In the last video, I talked about the concept of private VLANs. And like I said, I'm going to talk about how to configure it in the next video. So that's what I'm doing right now. So first off, the switch that you are configuring needs to be in the VTP needs to be in transparent mode. So you can do it by typing this command, VTP transparent mode, and if you want to verify it, you can say show VTP status just to verify that the switch is in transparent mode. So in the last video, I've got a picture where two servers are in. I'm not too sure, but I think that the servers are in VLAN 8.11 and the host is in VLAN 8.12. So in this case, VLAN 11 is the community VLAN and VLAN 12 is the isolated VLAN. So create community and isolated VLANs. These isolated VLANs. So 8 isolated. So you need to create community and isolated VLANs. In this case, the community VLAN is 8.11. So you should say VLAN 8.11 and then private VLAN community. And of course, VLAN 8.12 is the isolated VLAN. So you'll say private VLAN isolated. So like I said, community and isolated VLANs are secondary VLANs. So you also need to create the primary VLAN. So in this case, your primary VLAN is 8.10. So you need to say VLAN 8.10 private VLAN primary. And also you need to associate all the secondary VLANs to the primary VLAN. So in this case, you only have primary, single primary VLAN. So I need to remove the S there. So you need to say private VLAN association, and in this case, this is our community VLAN 8.11 and isolated VLAN 8.12. And after you created and associated after you created the private VLANs and associated the secondary VLANs to the primary VLAN, you need to apply those. I mean, you need to configure the ports that belongs to the isolated VLAN and community VLAN. And like I said in the previous videos, you've got three types of, or actually two types of ports. You've got the promiscuous port here. This is the port that is connected to the gateway. So that port, you need to configure that as the promiscuous port. This is the port that can talk to everybody. to all the ports within the isolated VLAN and community VLANs. And you need to map all the VLANs. So in this case, you need to map the primary VLAN and the secondary VLAN. So this is the community VLAN and this is the isolated VLAN. And you need to apply the ports to the you need to apply the port to the particular private VLAN. So in this case, I have this particular port. By the way, the port here is, of course, as you can see, gig 0/1. And here, what I did was I'm actually using range, interface range gig 0/2-3. So just to configure two ports, just to configure two ports at the same time. So switch port mode private VLAN host. I'm configuring these ports as a host and associate these ports with the primary VLAN, and this is the primary VLAN and this is the community VLAN. So as you can see here. And next, I'm also using gig 0/3-4 for my isolated VLAN. So you need to specify that the ports are host. So switch port private VLAN host, and you need to associate them with the primary VLAN and of course the isolated VLAN. So primary VLAN and this is the isolated VLAN. And yeah, yep, that's it. I think I said that there are two types of ports: promiscuous port, and host port. Here, as you can see here, you also, under host ports, I think I talked about this in the last video. Under the host port, you have another two types of ports, which are, of course, the isolated port and the community port. Here, so this is the community port. I mean, what you're saying here is you're telling these ports to be host ports, and at the same time you're telling these ports to be community ports. Here, this is the primary VLAN and secondary VLAN, or community secondary VLAN. And these ports are you're saying that these ports are host ports, and at the same time we're telling that these ports are also isolated ports. And of course, you need to verify that everything is working. So you can use this command right here, show VLAN private VLAN. So when you issue that command, let's say that you have the primary VLAN, and that is the 810, and secondary VLANs. This is the secondary VLANs, 811, 812, and the ports that belong to particular VLANs. So yeah, that's it for configuring private VLANs. So I hope this is useful. So I'll talk to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.